Hi there, back again. So today's 13th May and we have a lot of action happening. It's a Saturday. It's Karnataka Assembly results day. So there's a lot of breaking news and numbers being thrown around. There's a lot of plan A, plan B, plan Z being spoken about. And I was just talking about it in a WhatsApp group in college about the fact that there is this possibility that money can hijack our MLAs and they can switch sides is a possibility. So there is no people's mandate. It can be hijacked by money power that exists in our system and we are not concerned and we call ourselves a democracy. Right? So I think a couple of things which came to me. One was the fact that the voting percentage is 72% in Karnataka. Bangalore, shockingly, has 54%. So roughly close to 6.5 crore people didn't vote in Bangalore. Why does this happen? I'm assuming there's a massive immigrant population which comes in. So is it a mandate that you come in, you proactively register yourself in the local voters list at the election authority locally? Do you do that? No, you don't. Nobody told you to do that, and you didn't think it was a priority. So, there are a lot of systemic reforms which we need to be speaking about, and it's until we look at it as a game where we have to have participation in every form. So while I'm compelled to pay tax as a citizen of India, I'm not compelled to put my vote. It's my choice, really. Maybe I should be taxed more if I don't want to vote. I mean, all the numbers you look at, they all tell you a story. 2018, close to 130 crore people in India for the Lok Sabha polls, and close to 90 crores were eligible to vote. I think around 62 crore voted, of which close to 36 crores came to the BJP, 37 crores went to BJP, and 19 to 20 crores went to the Congress. And no, sorry. 36 crores was the BJP share, the support. 29% was the BJP share. So if you put it down to math, while they had 303 seats in a Lok Sabha which had 543, and BJP's was supported by parties which got it the tally to 353, the vote share percentage, if you look at an absolute numbers of India, it's basically only 20% of the population voted for this massive majority in parliament. Somewhere we have this system completely giving us a jumble, and it can be each to their own. I mean, BJP has all the right to say they have majority because they have majority of seats, but in absolute numbers we are far away from getting the real picture. I don't know if in our schools we are speaking this value of equity, of fairness, of merit. Democratic parties lead to democratic governments. A corporate family which actually treats its workforce like family remains a family, or it will be hijacked by one family which has the highest percentage in that corporate setup. So there is a conscientious value which I think humanity needs to focus. I mean, we can keep talking about 1/4 of the planet is where we can live. Three-fourths is water. But we have a massive crunch for space, for food. While if we actually lived harmoniously, joyously across, removed all these nonsensical borders and had equity and fairness and merit to give you a slightly better option, but not too much, I think we can change the way we look at our neighborhood, our family, this idea of section A of the planet or section A of India. We're all a little section of the whole class, this big school, this big university that we call this planet. So those are some of the thoughts which came to me today looking at the Bangalore elections and this nonsensical debate about Rahul or Modi. I mean, how many of you really actually went and read the manifestos of the Congress and the BJP? Did they have a holistic picture? Did they have a vision on which you wanted to vote? Did you see that vision getting translated into actual work from the previous manifestos as well? But why do they need to come out of the manifesto? Shouldn't we have a system where all areas which concern us, a vision needs to come out very clearly on each of those? So we decide what are the important factors that we need to know. So these are just ideas, and I think we created this model which is better than the dictatorship or monarchy or whichever model we've seen in the past. But version 2, version 3 of democracy and this egoistical view that how dare you question we are not a democracy. Yes, we are a democracy, but we have far too many issues which is not giving us the picture, is not giving us the inclusion, is not giving us the results, is not speaking parallelly on the ground as well as who's sitting in the big houses of parliament. So there are a lot of lessons one can possibly pick up from sport. When there is a close tie, how do you further decide? So I like the whole idea of the debates between parties before an election to project their visions, and we decide what questions need to be answered there, not the basis of what marketing campaign is running. Are you just speaking about the ill of the previous party, or do you have a clear vision of what you need to do? You could win your election based on what the other party didn't do, but what matters is what can you do now? And that's the debate we shy away from. And there are systemic issues which need to be attended, and this idea needs to come into us and the children that we groom for the future, who will create new parties, who will create new setups, which will have more inclusion, more fairness, more merit, more systemic efficiencies than personalities. And yeah, it's a beautiful Saturday. There's also the birthday of Stevie Wonder, who hit number 1 on the Billboard charts with his number Fingertips in 1963 when he was only 13. And he came into the planet prematurely, and I think the lack of oxygen kind of led to blindness. But look at the faculties which further got developed to give us this wondrous man who just called to say that he loved us. So I don't know what's happening on the IPL meter, but I took a look again at Yashasvi Jaiswal's inning, and I think it was a mix of both cricketing shots as well as the massive power heaves that you see nowadays in T20. But the clarity and thought, looking at the pitch condition on whether to go back on a spinner and how does he really take on the bowling attack, was the lesson. So any cricketer watching, whether it's Tendulkar, whether it is anybody else, their preparation to a match, the clarity eventually gives the result. And I think it applies to all walks in life, and that's the story here today at the Curiosity. And goodbye from Vikram Dev Mahapatra. Do you know, Tom Cruise, his surname was Mopata. It was Thomas Cruise Mopata the Fourth. So, sounds quite similar, no? Anyways, catch you guys again. Do not like, do not refer, do not subscribe to me until it's absolutely compelling. Thank you.